girls in the back, your eyes are up here. This time, there's not a song, but we're going to do something with our hands. Watch me. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, snap. And if you can't snap, don't worry, just pretend. Ready? Let's try it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, snap. Now we have to do it without any sound. Ready? Good job. Let's try it one more time. Good. In the middle of the story, you're going to see me do that, and you can do it with me. And whatever I'm saying, you can catch on and try to say that too, okay? But it's not going to happen until the middle of the story. All right, I'm going to light the candle. Who's going to tell everybody what it means? All right, that boy in the back, what does it mean when I light the candle?
You need some fire.
Everybody has to be
Quiet.
and your lips are zipped. Here we go.
You need some fire.
You should all be quiet. Here we go. The name of this story is called Tipingee. Now once, a really long time ago, way out in the woods, there's this other tiny little house. But this time in it lived a wicked old stepmother. She was so mean, she made her stepdaughter do all the work around the house. She made her scrub the floors, she made her wash the windows, and she hardly gave her any food at all. You know what? She was a little bit like Cinderella. But her name wasn't Cinderella, Her name was Tipingee. Now, one day, Tipingee was off in the cornfields gathering up some corn, and the stepmother was in the house stirring something in a great big pot. And whenever she cooked, she liked to sing. So she was singing. She's not a very good singer. She sang like this. La-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da. And she would sing like that all day. Well, all of a sudden, her fire under her pot went out. She knew she needed more firewood, and she thought, oh, I wish Tipingee was here so she could get it. But Tipingee was out in the fields, so she had to go in the woods by herself. And she went in the woods, and she gathered up a whole pile of wood, but she tried to lift it up. It was too heavy. So you know what she did? She stood right there in the middle of the forest. She put her hands on her hips, and she said, hey, who's going to help me carry this firewood? Well, out from behind a bush jumps this little man. And he had this black wiry hair sticking up. He had a scar down the side of his face. And he had a big old wart on his nose. And he had these two little beady eyes. And he said, I'll help you, but what you gonna give me? And the stepmother said, oh gosh, I don't have any money with me. If you carry it to my house, I promise I'll give you something. So he said, all right, but you better give me something. And he picked up that wood, and he carried it all the way back to the stepmother's house. And he put it right there on the floor in her kitchen, and then he looked at her with his little beady eyes, and he said, now what you gonna give me? And the stepmother says, oh gosh, I don't have enough money. I know. I'll give you my stepdaughter, Tipingee. She'll be like a servant girl. She does all the work around the house. And he said, wow, that sounds like a good idea. How am I gonna get her? The stepmother said, well, how about tomorrow at 12 o'clock, I'll send her down to the well in the middle of town, and I'll dress her all in red. You just go up to all the kids, and whatever one's dressed all in red, you take her to be your servant, okay? And he says, all right, that sounds good. Well, they didn't know it, but outside the window, Tipingee was listening, and she heard their plan. So you know what she did? She ran to her friend's house, she knocked on the door, and she said, would you meet me at the well tomorrow at 12 o'clock and wear red? Yes, I will. She went to another friend's house. Would you meet me at the well tomorrow at 12 o'clock and wear red? Yes, I will. She went to another friend. Excuse me, would you meet me at the well tomorrow at 12 o'clock and wear red? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. And the next day, up comes the ugly old man, and he sees one kid in red, another, and another, and he said, which one of you is Tipingee? little girl said, I'm Tipingee. And the second little kid said, no, she's Tipingee. And the third little kid said, we're Tipingee too. And they started singing. Get your hands ready. I'm Tipingee, she's Tipingee, we're Tipingee too. Say that with me, ready? I'm Tipingee, she's Tipingee, we're Tipingee too. Again, I'm Tipingee, she's Tipingee, we're Tipingee too. Well, he got so mad. He went running back to his stepmother. He said, you tricked me. They were all dressed in red. The stepmother says, oh, I don't know how that happened. I promise tomorrow I'll send her to the well at 12 o'clock. And this time I'll dress her all in black. The kids around here, they won't dress all in black. You just take whatever little girls dress all in black.
What?
They didn't know it.
What did you
Outside
say?
the window, Tipingee was listening again. You know what she did? She ran to her friend's house. She knocked on the door. Would you wear black tomorrow? Meet me at the well, 12 o'clock. Yes, I will. Hey, would you wear black tomorrow? Meet me at the well, 12 o'clock. Yes, I will. Would you wear black? Meet me at the well, 12 o'clock. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. And the next day, up comes the ugly old man. He sees one kid in black, another, and then he said, which one of you is Tipingee? And the first kid said, Tipingee. The second kid said, she's Tipingee. And the third kid said, we're Tipingee too. And they started singing, ready? I'm Tipingee, she's Tipingee, we're Tipingee too. I'm Tipingee, she's Tipingee, we're Tipingee too. Well, he got so mad. He ran back to his stepmother. He said, you tricked me twice. I'll give you one more chance. If she's not there tomorrow, I'm taking you to be my servant. And the stepmother said, oh, no, we don't want that. I promise she'll be there tomorrow, 12 o'clock. I'll dress her all in red. The kids won't wear red again. They wore red yesterday. She'll be the only one, I promise. They didn't know it. Outside the window, Tipingee was listening again. And she ran to her friend's house. She said, would you wear red tomorrow? Meet me at the well, 12 o'clock. Yes, I will. Hey, would you wear red tomorrow? Meet me at the well, 12 o'clock. Yes, I will. Would you wear red? And you? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yep. And the next day, up comes the ugly old man. He sees all the kids dressed in red. And he said, tell me what he said. Ready? Which one of you is Tipingee? Help me out. The first little kid said, I'm Tipingee. The second little kid said, she's Tipingee. The third little kid said, we're Tipingee too. And they started singing really loud. Ready? I'm Tipingee, she's Tipingee, we're Tipingee too. I'm Tipingee, she's Tipingee, we're Tipingee too. He got so mad. He ran back to that stepmother. He said, you tricked me for the last time. And he grabbed the stepmother, threw her over his shoulder, and he walked off into the woods, and he kept her for his servant. And Tipingee, she came home and had the whole house all to herself, and she lived happily ever after.
The end.
Hand those out, so talk to your partner about what you liked about the story.
I like